Hello world, it's me, DoctorAinz, and today we're gonna be taking a quick overview at Mary variants and how we can So as I said, let's finally begin with the Mary overview video thingy. Once again, this is an overview, not a top 10 Mary variants that you should definitely upgrade before the devs patch it. But yeah, rather a overview of which variants are kinda worth the damn. So let's start with Mary's default palette, bare bones. Oops. And yeah, she is really bare bones. She gets thorns whenever you use a special move, and when reaching a certain amount, when reaching 3 stacks of thorns, she gets miasma for 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, this miasma, this conversion happens every time she gets 3 stacks of thorns, either from her signature ability or from other, what are they called? From other interactions, meaning Rose Tinted can potentially give her thorns. Psy Commander into inner pieces into bare bones can also give her thorns, but the optimal strategy is to simply keep spamming special moves. That way you're gonna be able to. But the optimal strategy is to simply keep spamming special moves and, you know, benefit from how strong Miasma really is. And now here is a very easy to do universal combo that will let you get her Miasma all the time. I will definitely recommend her, if anything, just to see how you like Mary, you know, kind of play around with her a little bit. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Next up we have Moody Magus, which is kinda awful because Mary doesn't really have a lot of buff gain, except for her taunt and, you know, burning or reviving your teammates, which that means that you're basically gonna get like 4 buffs, and that's it, tentatively at least. This one requires a little bit more of support if you want to make her at the very least usable. So obviously you slap a level 3 for easy unblockables, and then you also have to have support fighters that can grant her timeless buffs, such as Personal Assistant or, you know, someone like Evergreen to prolong the duration of the buffs that she is getting. So, as I said, as much meter gain as you can possibly give her, a level 3, and a ton of support, because otherwise she really sucks. And also a taunt. Also, consider this a footnote if you will, but there's something very interesting regarding Morris's taunt. And it is the fact that you can, after using it, if you hold your screen as if you were trying to prepare for a charge attack, you can then hold the taunt animation forever if you want to. This serves absolutely zero purpose, and I have no idea why it's even in the game, but yeah, it's something that you can do. Look at that. She is as stiff as a board. Yeah, this doesn't do anything actually. You can stay like this forever. Nothing ever is gonna happen, and that isn't a joke either. It's like, it's useless. Moving on. Next we have Phantom Wrangler. Hits from her skeletal summons deal bonus damage and also have a chance to inflict slime for some time. Also, using a blockbuster will inflict the opponent with Quietus for a certain amount of time if the opponent is suffering from slime. This means that multi-hit skeletal summons are preferred, and also she pairs well with Umbrella, because, you know, slime is kind of her thing. Finally, a Carpal Pummel, you know, the one where here comes the giant fist. A Carpal Pummel level 3 at least is absolutely necessary if you're gonna play her, because that move has a effect like this, I guess, that it becomes unblockable if the opponent is suffering from Quietus. You know, that's some synergy right there. Up next we have Snake Charmer. Her strength ability makes it so that when you are charged when when you have a certain percentage of your mortuary charge meter, well, charged, every time you use a special move, you inflict your opponent with immobilize and disable blockbusters. So her game plan will be to reach the charge threshold, and then just use suction obstruction and keep your opponent in semi-infinite lockdown. You know, they can still tag out or use an invincible. Oh, never mind. they can only tag out. So there's that. She will also grant enrage and blockbuster meter to every teammate every time she uses one of her mortuary charges, which, you know, it means burning off an opponent or reviving one of your own teammates. So something silly that you can do is revive your main carry 5 times, and then now your main carry has 5 stacks of rage. That's kinda neat, isn't it? Completely useless, by the way, but kinda neat that you can do it. As I said, she will work best as a backup carry, meaning your main carry gets killed, she comes in and she safely stays alive until she can revive your main carry. You know, kind of like that. I would say that she doesn't seem very strong, so maybe hold on for a better Mary if you can. Alright, next one. This one is gonna be Maid of Honor. This one is a pretty interesting one. While she is alive, hits blocked by all your teammates have a chance to convert 1 debuff into a stack of barriers. So if you want her ability to trigger, if you want to get barrier from her ability, you first have to have a stack, well, 1 debuff at least. Also, only while she's alive, all of her teammates will recover a percentage of their health while they're benefiting from barrier. So no beating around the bush here. She's absolutely amazing because she can convert Hex, she can convert Curse, well, as long as she's not the active fighter, I mean. And the already strong barrier users / granters become even stronger thanks to her. Now, I wouldn't say meta, but definitely keep an eye on her. Now we have Octoplasm. This gal. Whenever she's alive, debuff durations are increased by a certain amount of seconds, and we already have a power creep to Sunday School, which, you know, it's pretty bad. So it's not really hard to power creep her, but it's a power creep because your fighters don't have to inflict the debuffs. She will extend the duration of every debuff afflicting the enemy. Also, when using a mortuary charge, she will remove all of the opponent's buffs and will inflict quietus, while also granting permanent heavy regen to all of your water teammates. This is one of the variants that I don't personally like. The design, I guess. I like the variants that are designed kind of like her, meaning 9 out of 10 times she's gonna be absolutely worthless because, well, you're already kind of prepared to deal with debuffs if you're gonna be showered with them. And her second ability won't trigger if you take measures against that, such as not letting her charge her mortuary thingy, or, you know, using anti-revive methods. Using anti-revive methods. But there is that minuscule chance that she's gonna revive her teammates, and now you have to deal with a plot twister or heavy metal with heavy regen and you know, all of that fun stuff. So with that said, I say that you can make her work as a attack supporter. Just don't expect anything crazy from her, and also kind of a fun fact, if you will, but but also Fatigue and Doom are worse with her on the team, because, you know, you usually want those debuffs to expire as fast as possible, and, you know, since she increases the duration of the debuffs, you know, fatigue and doom are gonna be lasting a longer while, so that's not good. Anyway, next one. Here we have Ghostbuster, and she's absolutely amazing, kind of like Mingwan, a little bit worse than Mingwan, I guess you could say that. We'll have to see, but still. Hits from her skeleton summons deal extra damage and transfer up to 3 buffs from the opponent to herself. Also, when she has a full mortuary charge, using a charge attack will convert all of your buffs and debuffs, well, all of the buffs and debuffs that are on herself into barrier, miasma, or enrage. So yeah, pretty amazing. A little bit, she may be a little bit slow for Rift, but everywhere else she's gonna destroy everything that that stays in her path. So absolutely invest in her. If anything for the ease of use, because Mary's charge attack is already pretty darn strong. So yeah, she is absolutely amazing. Not really much else to say. Let's move on. Now we're looking at Dark Horse. She inflicts curse and gains permanent haste after facing the same opponent for only 5 seconds. And when she's alive and benefiting from haste, all of her dark teammates will inflict extra damage. So at first glance, she's a faster perfect dark, all weaknesses included. She also doesn't require any meter gain investment because, haste. And if anything, she's a very safe investment because you can just inflict her curse and then tag into another dark fighter that is gonna carry the fight. Definitely invest in her, if anything, for what I literally just said. Now we're almost at the end. First, we're gonna talk about Grave Digger. She gains immunity and unflinching whenever the opponent is knocked down. As we already know, immunity is a premium buff, so solely off of that, she's already worth it. But here's the thing that seals the deal. She will also gain precision every blah 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 seconds, while she is benefiting from immunity or unflinching, either or. So yeah, she does require a little bit of playstyle adjustment, but the reward is definitely worth the risk. Also, we all know that a burst forces a knockdown, so if anything else fails, you can get hit on purpose, activate a burst, and then benefit from her broken signature ability. Now we have Megalomaniac, a very polarizing Mary variant. Whenever she's alive, she gains permanent armor for every percentage of health lost by any teammate, and one stack of armor will remove when either fighter, meaning you or your opponent, uses a blockbuster. So aside from her level 3, I don't think you should be equipping her with any other blockbuster, unless I'm missing something. Also, when she's the active fighter and has at least 3 stacks of armor, she will deal damage every 15 seconds equal to a percentage of her attack, while also inflicting stun for 3 seconds. So she is she's almost exclusively a Rift defense fighter. So that's kinda weird, why will someone do this? The easiest way to look at her signature ability is that if the armor icon, the thing that appears whenever you gain armor below your fighter's health, if it says 3, if it has a 3 next to it, that means that her signature ability will trigger. That's the easiest way to put it. A lot of people say that she's horrible, but I personally don't see how, because number one, she requires a different approach, because you have to constantly be using blockbusters to get rid of her armor. That means that you're not always gonna be able to perform the combo that you wanna do. She also demands an answer, because armor will trigger frost armor and you will get killed by your own hands. And if everything else fails, she is a natural diamond water elemental. So that's already sort of good enough. So that's already sort of good enough for a lot of people. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on her. We may be looking at a splitting image 2.0 situation. By the way, I always said that splitting image was freaking broken, but nobody believed me because I'm a scrub. I'm a nobody. And finally, we have Heartless. Hits from skeletal summons will deal bonus damage and will be unblockable when the opponent is below a certain threshold of health or suffering from at least 3 debuffs. Also, if she is alive when the last surviving opponent tags in, they will do so with Hex, Heavy Bleed, and Quietus. This means that you can safely invest in her to unlock her second signature ability and just keep her in the bench like forever. It's still going to trigger. You can also look at her as Darkmight's daughter because they have very good synergy with each other, especially in defense. You know, not optimal, but something that you can do regardless. So yeah, her signature ability should work with any 3 combination of debuffs, meaning maybe 2 stacks of bleed and 1 armor break, or 3 stacks of armor of guard break, or disable this, that, disable taxing, disable blockbusters, disable special moves. You know, every 3 combinations should work. There are also very specific situations in which one will get immunity before they tag in, meaning completely bypassing her signature ability number 2. But yeah, as I said, there are very few cases in which this will happen, so don't really need to worry too much about it. You know, just keep an eye out for Surgeon General. So even though she seems very strong at a first glance, she also doesn't prevent the opponent from gaining any new buffs. So the opponent could potentially benefit from Final Stand or benefit from Invincible completely raining on your parade. So yeah, I wouldn't say very versatile, but she's completely unstoppable in the right situations. At the same time, I would say that she needs heavy investment to destroy the opponent before her debuffs expire. So that is gonna be pretty much it for today. As you can see, most of her variants have a huge potential, but they sort of get held back by her kind of weird character ability, because you obviously don't want your teammates to die, and also it could be kind of hard to kill one of your enemy fighters, enemy variants, to kill off one opponent to get her snowball effect going. So yeah, she definitely has lots of potential. She needs a little bit more of a push of research, or maybe more investment than your average fighter. But yeah, still, I would say that she's pretty good, at least from her combo game. Her combo game is absolutely amazing and completely devastating, while also being relatively easier than the whole rest of the cast. So yeah, not really too much to say about that. Now that that's done, should we do a Mary Temple or something? Maybe. I'm thinking about it. No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm working on another video in which we're gonna do lots of relic opening to celebrate my return to form, if you will. But yeah, as I said, has lots of potential, needs support, more research maybe. That is until she gets her own Dead Wish / Unholy Host variant, and she absolutely decimates everyone with zero effort. But until then, this was DoctorAinz, and I'm signing out. But not before telling you to remember that life is full of entries, so don't feel over bread. Yeah, I guess that's gonna be everything. For real this time. See ya. Ciao ciao. How do I stop this? Stop!